May 14th, 2018, Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court has spent the last few months debating whether or not the state of New Jersey had a case that it was the right of individual states to decide if online sports betting should be legal or not for its own citizens. By a vote of 7-2, the court makes a decision that would yield huge repercussions over the next few years down the road. They decided it was indeed the right of the states to legalize online sports betting, if their citizens voted for it. Flash forward to present day. 37 states and Washington, D.C. have now legalized online sports gambling. Every TV commercial seems to be for a sports book or casino. The casino industry has netted a record-breaking revenue every single year since 2018, and sports betting revenue alone increased 60% from 2021 to 2022. There are an estimated 20 million Americans with a gambling addiction. How did we get here so quickly? Today, we're tackling a topic that's taken the nation by storm since 2018, the exponential growth of sports betting in the United States. But before we begin to explore the implications of the Supreme Court's decision on the society that we live in, let me introduce myself. My name's Rob, and I'm a recovering gambling addict. I made my last bet on November 12th of 2022, and since then it's become my personal mission to help people avoid making the same mistakes that I did for so many years. If you want to live a happier and healthier life without the chaos of gambling addiction, smash that subscribe button. Because whether you're in the depths of a problem yourself or you've never gambled in your life, I hope to be of service to you and your loved ones in living a better life. The 2018 Supreme Court decision allowed states to legalize online sports betting. This decision opened the floodgates for a rapidly expanding industry, transforming the way that Americans engage with sports forever. What used to be a platform for families and friends to bond over a mutual love of a sport or a mutual love over a local team has become a continuous looping commercial to tell you to sign up for a platform where the odds are rigged against you and they want all of your money. The common saying is that the house always wins when it comes to gambling. But what people don't recognize is that the same logic applies to sports betting. People often view sports betting the same way as they view the stock market. You pick your team and watch as the results unfold. The key difference lies in the fact that all of the odds are chosen by the casino and mathematically crafted so that they always beat you in the long term. And if your player or team loses, 100% of your investment is gone. You can't wait for the markets to take an upswing. It doesn't matter if your team goes on to win the championship or go undefeated for the rest of the season. If they lose that game, you lose it all. Since that pivotal moment in 2018, online sports betting has seen an unprecedented growth. With the convenience of mobile apps and the ability to bet on a wide array of sports, people are diving headfirst into this new landscape. In addition to the fact that you can lose money gambling, it's also incredibly important to recognize that anyone who gambles is running the risk of developing a gambling addiction. It can impact anyone, myself included. As more people begin gambling, more people get hooked. Rates of addiction and the consequences that addiction brings are on the rise, significantly actually. Because since that day in 2018, Americans are now 30% more likely to develop a gambling addiction. 30% isn't a small number. But alright, you can get addicted. So what? It's just money, right? You can always earn it back. Well, unfortunately, a gambling addiction impacts more than just the money. Of course, the money is the root by which all the problems inevitably stem from, but to a gambling addict, the money is just seen as fuel to keep the fire burning. Where the damage is really done
By telling
is
you
on the
that you'll be a
trust
big
of
winner,
family and friends as you lie, steal, and manipulate your way into more fuel. Gambling addicts also waste a ton of time chasing that false dream, so years of productive capacity get flushed away. We also experience high levels of stress, anxiety, and depression, and gambling addiction has the highest rate of suicide out of any addiction. It's estimated that 1 in 5 gambling addicts seriously consider or attempt to take their own life as a direct result of their addiction. So yes, a gambling addiction will inevitably cost you all of your money, but it can also completely uproot your life. And the worst part of all of that is that in the mind of an addicted gambler, the only solution for those issues is to continue to gamble, because that big win will solve it all. It's only after they stop that they realize that there would never be a big enough winning to satisfy any of the dreams that they held for themselves. One of the most noticeable and arguably most damaging changes to society has been this constant bombardment of sports betting advertisements that we see everywhere. They're even endorsed and pushed out by all of the major sports leagues here in the United States. Whether you're watching a game on TV or scrolling through social media, these ads seem to be everywhere. And they continue to sell you this false dream that you'll be the next big winner. Oh, and to top it all off, none of the commercials give any implication that you could actually lose money gambling. They just say to call them if you decide you have an issue. And not only do the ads constantly pop up, but they make you aware that you can now gamble on literally anything. Whether it's betting on your favorite team to win, betting on your favorite player to get more than 5 rebounds, or simply gambling on the Super Bowl coin flip landing on heads or tails, the options are seemingly endless. And they want you to know it, because that'll get you to keep coming back. The false dream that's peddled in these advertisements has led to the mass normalization of gambling. If you don't gamble now, as a young person specifically, you're very rapidly being seen as an outcast. It's laughable to think that not wanting to light your savings on fire would make you an outcast, yet here we are in 2024. If you want to know more about how casinos have manipulated our society into gambling away their hard-earned savings, check out this video, where I share 4 ways that casinos are doing just that, and they're not what you'd expect. If we're not doing anything about the rapid spread of casino marketing and making our people, specifically our youth, aware that sports betting is gambling and that gambling can be addictive, there's going to be a lot of pain in our country's future. I truly believe that if left unchecked, this will be the greatest outbreak of addiction in the history of our nation. There is hope, however. If casinos were held accountable for their messaging and forced to identify and report problem gambling behaviors in their clients, we could help people before it gets to be too late. There are better days ahead if there's more honesty and transparency in the industry. But noting that over 80% of casino profits come from the gambling addicts, it's hard to see a future where they would collaborate with lawmakers unless by force. Additionally, you might be wondering why states would even legalize this if it's such a dangerous and addictive product. Well, they're convinced that they're going to make a profit on it. States have made a ton of money from gambling tax revenue. However, what they didn't factor in when they legalized gambling was that the social costs, the depression, anxiety, and mental health issues that would arise, and the gambling addiction issues that would arise, also contained a cost to society. And states really aren't reaping the benefits long term. They're kind of just running in a circle while the casino industry is running off with the profits. But who's going to be there for the gambling addicts? Well, I am. And I hope that you will be too. As this industry continues to shape our relationship with sports and entertainment, it's essential to be mindful of the potential consequences. Not everyone that gambles will get addicted to it, but anyone who gambles can. So if you're ever feeling like it's not as fun as it used to be for you, it could be worth considering leaving gambling behind. Now, if you found this video insightful, don't forget to leave a like and share it with any of your friends that gamble. As the rates of gambling addiction continue to rise, it will be up to people like you and I to speak up and make a difference in our world, to help people pursue a happier and healthier life for themselves. All of that will happen one day at a time.